to Think Academy. Today we are going to solve the problem in AMC 8 evaluation. I'm teacher Selena, and let's look at our problem. As shown below, a chess piece is placed on the bottom left square of the board. The chess piece can be moved by only one square to the right or up at a time. How many ways are there to move it from the bottom left square to the top right square? So what is the question asking? It's asking how many ways there are to move from this bottom left square to the top right square. Right here, this is our goal. And the rule was we can only move right or up, right? Well, for these type of questions, we can approach it by using the labeling method. And the labeling method, we start at the bottom left square and write a 1 in it. And the reason why is because there's only one way to get there, and you're already standing on it. So that's one way, so we label this square as 1. If we move to the right of it, it's also only one way. This is also 1, because there's only one way to get to it. That's the same for every square to the right of the starting point. There's only one way to get to it. There's only one path to get to this one as well, and also one path to get to this one, because they're all going just straight to the right. For the square that's above the starting point, we are going up. That's also just one path. So we are labeling these squares 1. Next, we are doing this square right here. It's the first square that we're going to do in the center. How many ways does it take to get to this square right here? Well, we can draw it out a little bit. This is one way. This is one way, and this is one other way. So how many ways is there to get to this square? There are 2 ways, correct? All right. A trick here is that we are just adding the square to the left of it and the square that's below the square. And we get our number or number value or the paths to get to the square that we're labeling right here. So that is 1 plus 1 is 2. Now let's try this center block right here. How many paths is there to get to this block? Well, giving you a hint right here. Yes, it's 3. 2 plus 1, it's 3. What about this block? It's 4. What about this block? It's 5, because 4 plus 1 equals 5. All right, and we're doing the same thing for the top row as well. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. And then we get to our last block, which is our goal. How many paths to get here? It's 15, because what? 10 plus 5 equals 15. There's 15 paths to get to this top right square. How easy is that? Now, labeling is great for small grids like this, but let's imagine a 10 by 10 grid. Would you fill up the numbers for all the squares in a 10 by 10 grid? And to keep in mind, this is actually a 3 by 5 grid. No, we will not fill up the numbers in a 10 by 10 grid. That's going to take way too much time. So we need a much faster method, one that works for any size without drawing out or labeling out the full grid. So let me clear the table first. All right, here's the faster way. Let's think about the journey from the bottom left right here to the top right. To get across the 3 by 5 grid, we have to move across the 5 columns and the 3 rows. So that means we have to move across to the right 4 times and up 2 times to get to our goal. Let's write that down. 4 to the right, I'm just going to label it as R, and then 2 up. That's going to be U. That's it. That means for every single path, there are 6 moves. The 6 moves there are 4 rights and 2 ups. Can we take more than 6 moves? No. That's going to be going past our goal. Can we take fewer than 6 moves? That's not going to even get us to our goal. And does every path have exactly 4 rights and 2 ups? Yes. So now let's think. What makes one path different from another? It's not the steps themselves, because all the rights are the same. It's all moving this way. All the ups are the same. It's all in the same movement. What makes them different is the positions of ups and rights in a sequence. For example, we could have first step as up, and then R, and then R, and then R, and then up, and then R. And also R means right. U means up. This sequence is different from R, U, U, R, R, R. Why are these different? Because the U's are in different spots. If I swapped one R with another, would it make a new path? No, it will still be the same path. The same goes for swapping U with U's. So here's the key. If I choose which 2 spots out of the 6 moves will be U's, the other spots will automatically be R's. And once I choose the U spots, the path is completely decided. That's why we use a combination method. Let me write it down. The combination formula looks like this. N choose R is equal to N factorial over R factorial times N minus R factorial. Now, N in this formula means the total number of choices, which we have is 6. And the R means here the number of positions, the number of position choices. So in our case, we have the total number of choices is 6. We have 6 moves that we have to make. So that will be 6, choose 6, choose 2, because we are choosing 2 U's from the 6 spots. And again, the rest of the rights or R's are going to be automatically placed in its positions after we choose which or where 2 U's can be in a sequence. And we can solve this question by plugging that into the formula. 6 factorial over 2 factorial times 6 minus 2 factorial. That will be 6 times 5 times 4 factorial all over 2 factorial times 4 factorial. That crosses it out, and we should have 6 times 5 all over 2, 2 times 1, which should equal 15. That's exactly what we got from the labeling method, right? So both methods work. For small grids, labeling is a nice visual way to understand the problem. But for bigger grids, the combination method is much faster. The 3 steps for using the combination method are: first, count the total number of moves we need. Second, count how many of them are ups or rights, or whichever position that they have. Third, plug the values that you know into the formula right here. And then now you know how to solve it. Our question has an answer. It is C15. All right, thank you for listening.